Hi guys, it's Carrie. I have a friend and she just sent me a list of questions about how I got to be a pilot. So I thought I'd go ahead and just make a video of it and vlog a little bit about these questions because I think they're good information that should be included on this, and it's been forever since I've done anything. This is for you, Hema, and whoever else is gonna benefit. So basically the first question is, what got me to be in the career path I am, what led me to the role I'm in today. So the role I'm in today is I have just gotten my certified flight instructor certificate. Basically, I instruct people how to fly and help people improve their flight skills. And it's been like a long journey to be here, to like have come here. Like I grew up around aviation, but it never, like, it's never been like a passion of mine, and I don't even like the word passion, but because passion's like all encompassing, all consuming, and like aviation is a big part of my life, but it's not everything to me. But anyway, it's always been a part of my life, but I've never like been head over heels for it, if we could say that. So what got me into this was obviously, like, as a little kid, we'd fly a lot as a family. My dad is a private pilot, so he had partnerships in airplanes, just like small aircraft, like 4 seats, 6 seats. We go on vacation, and so he'd let us, you know, fly the plane straight and level as little kids, and that was my introductory. We went to air shows as a kid. Like, we had like a very blessed childhood in the sense of aviation because my dad loves aviation, and so we were all like involved with that. But for me, my journey with aviation started when I was in high school, like more seriously started when I was in high school. My dad got his flight instructor's license, which is what I just got, and he started teaching me how to fly in a Cessna 150, which was a 2-seater. So I did that in high school. I did not get my license, my private pilot's license. I did solo though, so I soloed when I was 17, and I'm now 25, to put that into perspective. And then went off to college for a year. Then I took a break from college, and I served a full-time mission for my church in Tahiti, which is actually how I know Hema, who I'm doing this video for. Did mission in Tahiti for 18 months, came back to school in Utah, and was still like major shopping. And at this point, like, I've been in school like, I don't know, 2 years, so like I did like another full year of school in Utah, and I was in engineering, and then I switched like totally different to like sociology, and I was doing some research with like women's studies, and I just feel like I was trying to get like my feet wet in everything, and nothing was really clicking for me. The winter, basically January 2018, Abby and I had gone to Hong Kong together with a couple of our friends. On the way home, on my flight from Seattle to Salt Lake, I sat next to a pilot. He just told me about his job, and it literally changed my perspective on becoming like an airline pilot. I'd asked one of my friend's dads before what it took to get to the position he was at. It's not any simple task. You have to do over 1,500 hours of flight training, and that takes time to do, and then you have to do like all your ratings. It's a long process. I can't even, like, it takes time to do this, and your airline pilots are skilled, and pilots are trained well. I never really thought it was something I wanted to do just because of the dedication it takes, the sacrifice, the financial everything, and time and everything. But after sitting next to this pilot on this flight back from Seattle to Salt Lake, I was like, you know what, maybe I could do this. Like, he just raved about his job and his lifestyle and just the time that he's able to spend with his family and the vacations he's able to go with his family and everything, which, I mean, I've kind of known because my dad also works for an airline, but just to rehear that and to like hear the enthusiasm, like, I literally was signed up for classes at the university I was going to, and I went to classes I think the first 2 days of the semester, and then dropped. I was in Utah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get my pilot's license with my dad in Georgia, and did that and transferred universities so that I could get into an aviation science program. That was in 2018. We're now in 2020. 2 years later, I am graduated with a degree in aviation science. I got my private pilot's license, then you get your instrument rating, and then I got my commercial single engine to fly an airplane with one engine. Then I got my commercial multi-engine rating, and now my certified flight instructor certificate. And then I want to be able to instruct people for instrument training. So that probably just sounds like blah blah to most of y'all, but every time you train, it's like this endeavor. So that's kind of what's gotten to me to be like where I'm at. What skills do you think are most important for someone interested in a job like yours? Okay, so anything aviation, I mean any freaking job, people skills, soft skills. Like I say that because I advocate for soft skills all the time. I think they're super important. Communication, teamwork. In aviation, we call that crew resource management. If you cannot work with the person next to you flying, it's not going to be a safe flight. Just be willing to learn, be willing to put in the work. I listed off the 5 stages, I guess, of my training. There's just always something to learn. Being open-minded, teamwork, or crew resource management. Just being open-minded, being willing to learn. Oh, here's the big one. Resilience. Like 100% resilient. I have had so many failures in my training. But then I'm like, look back and I'm like, they're not failures. It's like I never gave up. For example, when I first went in to get my private pilot's license, I had flown so much, I thought like, I got the flying down and everything like that. I've done my groundwork. The way that it works is you have a check ride and you spend an hour to like 3 hours maybe on the ground going over information, and then you go up in the air and fly for like an hour and practice and doing different maneuvers and everything with this examiner. So I felt like I had my flight down, but my ground knowledge was absolute trash when I first went in to get my private pilot's license. And I didn't know how to present the information that I knew. So I failed my private pilot check ride initially because of the ground portion. Well, I was devastated. At that point, like I had transferred universities and everything. I wasn't sure which major I was gonna, like I was picking aviation science as a major now, like putting, I don't know, all my eggs in one basket, and if that wasn't gonna work out, like I was like, what is going to work out for me? What am I gonna do? Went to a ground instructor and improved my ground knowledge and, you know, worked on it. That was so long ago. Like I had my private pilot's license. Like I've learned so much since then. It's not a failure. Teamwork, skills, communication, just being open to learning, resilience. A failure is not a failure unless you quit trying. What do you enjoy the least? Or is there something that surprised you about the role when you first started? Okay, definitely the feeling of failure. I am a perfectionist. The university I was at, we had something called stage checks, which are times where you go up and fly and like they'll check your learning and make sure like you can do all the procedures and maneuvers right. And like when you fail one of those, you also feel like trash. But that surprised me to be like, oh, I'm failing things, or like, you know, when I failed my private pilot check ride, the initial feeling of, oh, you failed, or like that unsatisfactory, just however they say it, is just like so sad. That was a feeling that I've learned to, I guess, get over, because I've moved on past it. When I didn't, if they told me I wasn't able to progress to the next step, it's because there's something I still needed to improve and work on. I've learned not to base myself off of failure. That's been one of the biggest, it means a lot to me, because I think that's something like I needed to learn, and like I needed as a person, not just in flying, but just in general, to be like, it's okay, like get up, keep going. All right, last question. What steps would you recommend I take to prepare for this field? Okay, if you want to get into aviation or like become a pilot or like go into, like my goal right now is to become an airline pilot. You gotta talk to someone who's there. Like there are so many different things and regulations and steps that you gotta take. There's so much to the training. It's so fun. You put in the work. It's a lot, and it's a lot financially and everything. So if someone's looking in to become a pilot, ask me, call me, text me, whatever, message me. Like, I love to talk about it now. I feel like I've come so far. I've given so much to this field, and you just want to pay it forward. Like anybody who enjoys their job or whatever, they just wants to pay it forward. So talk to someone who knows and who's in the field, and look for people, you know, on Instagram, on YouTube or whatever, who can kind of share their little bits of advice. I think that's like all I'd say. Those are my thoughts. Hey Ma, hope you do well on this, whatever you're working on, assignment and everything. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, like I said, message me. Follow us on Insta, Pilot Caree, and of course there's at the Pilot Sisters. Anyway, take care. Peace and blessings to y'all.